Welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs, guys, and I'm delighted to welcome captain, leader, legend of St. Patrick's Athletic, Ian Bermingham. How are you, Ian?
All good, Keith. Yourself?
Good stuff. I'm grand. How are you keeping during the pandemic? Are you keeping busy?
Yeah, just trying to keep myself busy. Obviously, we've been given workouts at home ourselves to do, and we've had them Zoom calls, workouts and stuff like that. And then just trying to keep myself busy, occupied at home and stuff like that. So, listen, it's been not too bad, I suppose, given the circumstances.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, there's a few silver linings, isn't there? There's a lot of good stuff that's gone on at Pat's, like the work Ian mentioned, he raised over 15,000, I think, wasn't it, for the club? And then you've got the food banks as well. So there's a few good news stories there as well, isn't there, in fairness?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Keane done great. I think as you said, he raised over 15,000 euros, which is brilliant. And then obviously you've got Dave Morrissey doing great work in the community down there, obviously, as you said, with the food banks and stuff like that. So listen, Pat's they're doing that bit around the community as well. So fair dues to them.
Yeah, I mean, how badly are you missing the football yourself personally?
It's the first couple of weeks wasn't too bad, to be honest with you, but obviously still not having really a date to come back, and it's gone on a long time now, so we're just eager to get back, because there's only so much running you can do on your own. There's only so much things you can do on your own, so I can't wait to go back around the lads really and have that little bit of banter as well. You know what I mean? You miss that sort of stuff as well around the
Does it make you a bigger desire, a greater hunger to get back as well, does it?
Yeah, I think it's refreshing. Everybody's eager to go back, as you say, and we'll all have a renewed energy, I suppose, and hopefully hit the ground running when we do go back. Yeah,
I mean, it must be frustrating for someone like Stephen O'Donnell, who is only new in the job, essentially. Like, he's put together a brand new squad, you could say, really.
Yeah.
He must be dying to get out in the training pitch, particularly from a manager's point of view as well, like, you know, to work on things, be it tactics, you know, the longer you work as a group, the more you get to know each other, etc., etc. It's a frustrating time for probably someone like himself as well.
I suppose for him it's probably the most frustrating, really, because he's only new to the job, as you say. It's his first managerial job, and he was only getting going, and really some really good things with us, and I suppose he could see a lot of positives coming into the group, and obviously then to get hit with the news that we're off now for a few months, I suppose it's probably hit him harder than most as a manager, really. As I said, he's only come into a new job and stuff like that, but as I said, he had a really positive start. All the players really, really impressed by what he's done and what he's bringing to the table. And for us equally, it's been difficult for us because we are really enjoying. I think we were only getting going. We've had some good performances, albeit probably not in some of the games the results that we deserved, really. But there's been a lot of positives down at the club, and listen, we'd be eager to go back and kind of continue that on.
Yeah, because it takes a while to gel kind of a new squad together, but you can see the ability of a lot of the individual players he's actually brought in, can't you? The likes of Billy King there, Chris Forrester is starting to, you know, look good again, I thought, as well, back end of last season as well, and other players as well. So, you know, there was you could see there was something starting at Pats as well that maybe hasn't been seen maybe since Liam Buckey basically was at the club, to be fair.
Listen, you've got really exciting attacking players. You've got in Martin Rennie up front as well. You've got a lot of young lads like Luke McNally, who's come back from Drogheda, who's been really, really impressive. Rory Feely's come back from Waterford. Really, really good start to the season. So we've got a lot of really, really good young players and exciting players. And as you said, Chris has been arguably our best player this season. Since he's come back to form a little bit, and he's been flying. There's more in Chris, but
definitely
he's been flying, and he's a top player. And I think Stephen is getting the best out of all the players that you have at his disposal.
Yeah, it's great to see with Chris, because he's one of those players that you literally you pay your money to go and see, and he just does things out of nowhere, the outrageous things, and he's a joy to watch, really. What does he like to play with?
He's brilliant. He's probably, because of the relationship he had probably before he went to England and stuff like that, I'd say he's probably the best player I've played with. We had a relationship on lockdown out in that left wing.
Exactly.
We knew each other's game inside out, and I just say some of the things he does is ridiculous. Like, if you just look at some of his goals on YouTube and stuff like that, some of the stuff he does in training and stuff like that. And it's, for me, it's brilliant to see him come back to what I know he's capable of, and that there is more in him. But no, it's brilliant to see. It's brilliant to see him coming back, and he's a really, really good player.
Now, you started your career at UCD. Did you go to college at UCD, or was it a case of Pete Mahon brought you in at the time? Or
no, I didn't go to college.
I
was playing for Lourdes Celtic, and Pete wanted to sign me, so I ended up signing, and I think I was 17 at the time. And in fairness to Pete, still to this day, I'd speak to him and all, and I'd give him, he's the most honest man in football. He told me that he put me straight into the first team. As a 17-year-old who went to the League of Ireland, told me that he put me straight in. I jumped at the opportunity, really, and he stuck to his word and threw me straight in, and the rest is history, as they say. Yeah,
and you moved on, I think, to Shamrock Rovers after that, and the mixed bag there, didn't really work out for you there, basically, did it? Or?
It didn't really, no. I was away with the under-21s, and I ruptured ligaments in my ankle, and that left me out for a while, and I was it just really didn't work out. I think I only played, probably if I even played 20 games, I don't even know, but it didn't really work out for me there. And as I said, Pete come back in, and he brought me to Pats then the year later.
Yeah, before that, I better mention Ronaldo, or my son will kill me. What was it like playing against Ronaldo? You literally came up against him as well, 1-on-1, didn't you?
Yeah, it was probably my first experience of a kind of big game with a big crowd there. I think there was over 10,000 there, and it was my first experience of playing in it, because as I said, had only been with UCD previous to that, and as you know, the crowds in UCD aren't great, so it was a brilliant experience to come up against that quality of player as well. And I think going forward, it stood me in good stead. You know, I was coming up against some top quality players, and for the European games, especially the year after with St.Patrick and stuff like that, I think it really benefited me. And as I said, to come up against top quality players like that, the whole build up, the atmosphere, everything about it was brilliant. And we all only played a half in the game, so coming off a half time, we were all good with that. We weren't going back out for the second half.
I'd say so.
No, but as I say, brilliant experience, and one of the highlights when I was at Rovers, definitely.
So obviously Pete Mahon brought you to Pats as well, and I'd say you had no hesitation, did you, when he called you up, basically? Having worked with him before?
Yeah, I'd worked with him before. He's a man I really admire, and I really trust, really. And he get the best down me. So I jumped at the opportunity, really, and Pats is only down the road from me as well. So it was a really easy choice to make, doing European football and stuff like that. So it was a good move for me, and I'm still there to this day. So
all right, no, we'll come back to that. But what were your first impressions of Pats and Richmond Park and the club, though, when you got there, if you can remember that far
back? Well, I do remember. I think they gave me a triple XL top when they were unveiling as a sign. I was swimming on. But, no, listen, it's a real family club.
It is. Yeah.
Obviously, when I was at Rovers, we had got a bit of stick off the Pats fans, being a local lad as well. So I had to kind of win them over a little bit, probably. I think it didn't take me that long. I think my second game I think I scored against Rovers, and I think that kind of sweetened them up a little bit.
That helps.
Definitely.
How did that moment feel as well? Because obviously it was your first. It was a free kick as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Whipped in top corner. Cross comes shot, but no, brilliant.
It was a shot. Never failed to cross. It was a shot.
I think it was only my second goal. Scored a little. I think I scored one for UCD previous to that, but just to score the Rovers, being a Pats player was brilliant, and something that I celebrate really well, to be honest. So it was a great moment.
Now, I'd say you're in your 11th season with the club, isn't that right? Isn't it 11 now?
Yeah, 11th now.
Yeah, it's hard to this season, you know. Yeah. But you would never have thought you'd be still here 11 years later, I'd say. There's a lot of reasons as well, because a lot of the contracts you would have been signing would have been year after year, wouldn't it? Like 1 year contract, you know, that kind of way. So you probably feel, it probably works both ways. You probably feel you can win over the club, but at the same time, the club want to sign you back on, if you get what I mean. Like, how does that work? What's that like in your head, I suppose?
Like, I suppose when we were doing well and when we won the league and we had played well, we were getting to cup final and stuff like that. There would be interest from other clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I always felt wanted by the club. They always pushed the boat out a little bit, even sometimes for you. And I suppose I think I done them well as well. Like I was good for them, so it was kind of a good relationship really. They were good for me. They looked after me, and I suppose I was doing well for them. And I think as the years go on, you grow out to love the club, and you like you love the people around the place and like that. And I suppose there was a couple of times when I had thought about leaving, but when it comes down to when you really think about it, there was nowhere else really where I wanted to be. And as you say, I'm still here to this day. So it's been a good relationship.
Yeah, like it's mad because you do see a lot of players, and from pre-season to next pre-season, they don't know where they're going to end up. And a lot of players, I know, they could play for 5 or 6 clubs in 5 or 6 years, and it's not ideal, is it really? Like, you know, it's hard to find form, I think, in those situations as well. But if you can concentrate on being at a club, if it's possible to do so for even a couple of years, you tend to find your best form. Like, there's players that played at clubs for 2 or 3 years consecutively, and it's no surprise that their best form is during those spells, you know?
Yeah, no, I think you as you say, you build relationships with players on the pitch as well. And as I mentioned with Chris, like we had a few years together, and I think that's what stuck with us. We built up a good relationship. But even I had good relationships with a lot of players I played, like Sean O'Connor, before he went to Rovers.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah,
relationship with him out, like that was built up, like, you know. And I think you get to know your players, and you get to know their strengths and weaknesses, and I think it's no surprise to you when you see teams that win the league and all that. They've not just been thrown together really that they're going to win it. It does take time to build that.
It does, yeah.
To build that up, and I suppose that's why you probably need calling for longer contracts. And you still see clubs giving longer contracts out now, which is a good sign both for players and for clubs. Really, the clubs will see the benefit 100%, and it is something that is starting to turn now. Obviously, years ago it was always probably year contracts and probably 2 years max, probably a couple of years, but you see them giving longer contracts now, which is great to see, and it's good for clubs. As I say, it builds good teams, and it gives you a better chance of winning trophies.
Now, you were at the club since 2010, and in 2012 you kind of gave the league a good rattle, didn't you? I think you finished third in the end, wasn't it? It was third, actually. Up in Sligo, it was a humdinger of the game. I remember it well. Sligo won 3-2, and Sligo won the title. But did you feel that year, you got to the cup final as well and lost to Derry, isn't that right, 2-12? Yeah. Did you feel that year that Pats were really building something over the next couple of years, and that there was a title in that team from that year?
Yeah, 100%. I suppose I signed back late in pre-season for 2012, and Liam took over. To be honest, I think they were trying to sign another left back, to be honest with you, and they didn't get. Yeah, so it's crazy how it works out. But anyways, I signed back late in pre-season, and I think Trevor Crowley was the coach there. He was an unbelievable coach, and he had his Liam's way of playing. Liam had his way of playing, and I think Trevor drilled it into us, and we always played out from the back. We had a proper style of how they wanted to play, and I suppose we had, to be honest with you, the players we had were of unbelievable quality, to be quite honest, and intelligent players, really, really intelligent players. Game intelligence was frightened by all the players, so we knew what we had to do and stuff like that, and you could see we were building something really, really good. And I think 2012 we did, as I said, we were only thrown together, and it's hard to, but we did kind of come together really well. And we, as you say, we went down to Sligo. I'll never forget, we pulled up down the showgrounds, and the place was packed. We were pulling up probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before the game, and the place was packed out. So they were coming down for the celebration. We were trying to stay in with a chance to win the league, and I think they ended up beating us 2-1. I think Mark Quigg scored a penalty. I'm not sure exactly, but they beat us, and they went on to win the league, and they won the league there and then. So it was kind of a bit of, like, we were kind of.
I think it was were the 3, was it 3-2? They were 2-0 up.
I know it was only a goal.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was 3-2, and they were 2-0 up, and Pats yourselves got back to 2-2. So I believe it was on telly as well. I can't remember. I was actually there, but I think it was on telly as well. I can't remember. But anyway, like, I know it was a humdinger of the game. It was absolutely a great day for Sligo, obviously. But you kind of got your revenge the year later because you beat them 2-0 at Richmond to win the league.
Yeah.
So that must have been a fantastic moment. And of course, in 2012, go back slightly, the great adventures in Europe as well. And the year before that, there was brilliant games in Europe where you got through a few rounds and you ended up playing Hanover in 2012. So maybe just quickly, what was that experience like against Hanover, actually?
Brilliant again. Yeah, I think all the Europe, they're the games I look forward to. But brilliant, like test yourselves against the best players around Europe, kind of, and brilliant experiences. Takes you to places you probably never visit.
Yeah, true.
Like we ended up in Kazakhstan in 2011, I think it was. I think on the way home we flew to Abu Dhabi. That's how far out we were. So unbelievable experiences. And on the games, Hanover, brilliant away. When we came home, they hammered us, I think. But no, a brilliant game. The Legia Warsaw game was one that stuck out for me over there. I think.
Yeah.
We were winning 1-0 and last minute. Last minute they scored, and then obviously when we came back to Dublin, didn't go really well for us. But we were down players, we lost players. I think we ended up with Conan Bourne playing right back, and so like he was getting roasted. I think all the goals. But it was just anything that could have went wrong, and we were knocked out. But no, over there the game was brilliant, and obviously the atmosphere and the whole lot about it was brilliant. Yeah,
that was the game where Fagan scored a cracker, wasn't it, from outside the box, I think, wasn't it? I think you might have set him up, actually, did you?
Yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah.
Great ball. I think Forrester belted the ball and he just stopped it dead and just clipped it in the end. I just rolled it across or Christie, and Christie does what he does, bangs it in the back of the net. So yeah, great goal, and obviously it was disappointing that we couldn't hang on for the good win, but it wasn't to be, and we got knocked out then the week later.
Unfortunately, you're just naming some of the names there, like Forrester, Fahy, Fagan, all in one team, like, and you're just, what I mean.
As I said, all really
quality
players, really good players, but also understand the game as well, and really intelligent, game intelligence on the pitch, know where to be, when to pass the ball, when to snap, when to run. You know what I mean? It's not every player has that, and we had bundles of that, especially 2012 and 14. Really good players.
In 13, then obviously you won the league, and that was your first league title. How did that feel?
Brilliant! I think I just dropped my knees. Unbelievable feeling. Like just, I think, like as I said, 2012 we came close, but we knew we were building something good, and I felt we were really confident that we could win the league in 2014. And to be honest with you, as the games went on, without sounding too cocky or whatever, it became easy. It was quite easy going out on the pitch. It was just like we were going out and we were battering teams really, and we didn't feel we were ever going to lose a game, to be quite honest. And I think we played Dundalk. I can't remember how far out it was from the end of the season, but we played Dundalk, and it was if Dundalk had beaten us, I think they were right back in with a chance. But I think we beat them. I think we were going 4 or 5 points ahead of them. And
was that the point you thought?
Listen, we were confident. That was the game where we had to kind of go, listen, we win here for home and host. And then when we played Sligo, I think obviously the roles reversed. We were playing at home the previous year, they were at home, and if they won the league. And obviously we rolled on 12 months later, we were in the same position at home. And coming down to the ground, we knew that. I knew, I was like, we're definitely winning it here. So, and we went on and won it. Greg Bulger scored a cracker of a goal, and then Bisto scored as well. And listen, we were in cruise control then till the end, and we partied hard then after that.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But I mean, just remember from that time, the team was good. Like, there wasn't really weakness on the park. Like, let's be honest about it. Some of the players in midfield, for example, Brennan, Bulger, Forrester, Fahy. Was James Chambers there at that stage?
No,
he wasn't there at that stage, was he? I can't remember.
That didn't come till 2014. 2014 we had John Russell and all.
John Russell, sorry.
Brilliant player.
Yeah.
He was a really vital part of the team. The stuff.
And Byrne, obviously, as well.
Christy Faig and Bisto. You've got Jared O'Brien right back, yourself left back, Kenny Brown, Conor Kennett, Clarkey and goal. The team really. The team that we had a settled team really, but the lads that the other lads that were kind of on the fringes, when they called upon really, really good for us. I remember Stephen Marr up and where was he played in games, and like the attitude of them, even though they weren't always playing and starting, when they did play, they were really, really good for us.
Because you need that, don't you?
You do 100%. You need a squad to kind of to go and win things, and we had that. We had a great camaraderie and great dressing room, and as I said, we had unbelievable footballers.
It's funny, I'm talking about the midfield there, but I think he's conceded 15 goals that season.
Yeah.
You must have had a great, telepathic relationship with Ger and Kenny and Connor in that back line, I'd imagine, did you?
Yeah.
And Clark in front, behind you as well, obviously.
Yeah. No, we like, I think because we dominated the ball most of the time, we had the ball a lot of the time, so it was hard for teams to kind of get a stranglehold on us. But no, we were really good defensively. Kenny, Connor Kenna, really, really good, like, leader at the back, organiser, organising everybody, organising Greg, different things like that. So we were organised, really organised, and as I said, we had the ball for the majority of the time. So you have the ball, they can't score it. So
you mentioned something there as well. You had a team of leaders as well. To be fair, yourself, Ger O'Brien. The whole backline are all leaders. When you name those 5 people, aren't they? They're all
Connor Kenna and all. He was skipper that year, and he was a really good organiser at the back. As you say, he was organising lads in front of him, beside him. But we had a lot of players that just, like, by the way they played, they led. Like, you had Greg Bulger, he was unbelievable. He ratting out things and just getting us playing, giving the lads ahead of him the platform to go on and play. And he's a really top player, passing ability, just reads the game very well.
And still is, actually.
Yeah, still is. That's all. Really, really good player. And but as I said, we had players that just led by the way they played, and as I said, we had a good dressing room. We all trained really, really hard, and I think we did get our just rewards at the end of that season.
And what was Liam Buckley like in the dressing room? Liam Buckley was manager of Pats before, and he was successful as well. And he came in. When he came in, did you kind of know straight away, this is, Liam Buckley's here, so, we're going to win something, essentially. Did you have a feeling, or had you met him before?
Have I met him before?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't met him before, but I knew by the way he wanted to play, and he was probably the first person that came in. I think before that, a lot of teams, no one really played out from the back, and no one really had that style.
Not really, no.
So I think he was the first to bring it in, and as I said, we really excelled. As I said, we had good players, so we knew our jobs, and I think he was the first to bring that style of play in, and he just let you go and play. He gave you that little bit of free. He gave you that, especially the forward players, the likes of Chris and stuff like that, just to go and do that thing, and to. The sense of he had as a style of play that to kind of follow, and we did, and once you got in the final third, really good for the young lads as well. And as you say, you just have a little word in your ear, different things. He wouldn't come in and throw the head or anything like that. So we just kind of gave lads a bit of freedom, and they excel.
Yeah, he comes across as being quiet. I don't know. Is that to say? Is that his manner generally?
Yeah, that's just his man. Yeah, he's quiet. He's a very nice man, and but as I said, the style of play is really good, and it's something that a lot of players respect because he never changes no matter what. He always wants to play out in the back.
Yeah, and see, the thing is the style of play, but you're also winning games.
Kind of all excelled at the way you want us to play. Exactly, yeah.
So 2014, obviously, you won the FAI Cup, and it's a strange one. I don't think Pats have won it for 53 years. Did that feel different or feel better in some ways than winning the league? Because when you win the league, you're the best team, end of story. And it usually means more win the league. But because of this history and this noose that seems to be around the neck of the club, really, did it feel better to win the cup in that sense?
For me, the league is probably, for me it is, but for the supporters for 53 years, it's a long wait. Like, so we knew that was for me the the league win is better for me. Obviously, the cup, it's a great day out. The whole build up to it, everything is brilliant about it. Obviously, 2 years previous, we had played Derry again, and they had beaten us in extra time. So obviously, we had Derry again, but as I said, we felt really, really confident going into the game, and we kind of, again, we were confident, and we kind of knew we were going to win if we. Thankfully, we did, and that, as I said, a great moment for the club, really, and for all the supporters. And but for us, not as I said, celebrated really well. But for me, the league win edges the cup win for me.
I think what it is actually, it's probably more for the older fans that may have seen Pats win a number of league titles, and essentially have never seen them win the cup. So for them, it probably meant more in a sense that they thought, will this ever happen? Because Derry City had beaten Pats in, I think it was 2007 or 2008 in the cup final as well, 4-3 or something like that. And they'd done it again 2-12. So to be playing Derry City again, the fans could be forgiven to think, But did you feel pressure going into that game, like more so than you normally would in a situation like that because of the history? Or did you feel like it drove you on more, or were you just quite relaxed?
I think we were quite relaxed. Yeah. As I said about Liam, he's real cool, he's calm, he's just has little, like, his little words were kind of, there was no pressure on us really. Obviously, outside of the dressing room, the years, you make your own history, all this sort of stuff was getting spouted about. But Liam was really good with us. I don't think we didn't feel any sort of different sort of pressure going into the game. It's just a game you go out, you want to enjoy, and you want to win. And thankfully we've done that. But I don't think there's any extra pressure on us. Not from in the dressing room anyway. Obviously from outside the dressing room with media and fans and stuff like that, that probably would have been, but not inside the dressing room. We were confident. Really.
Yeah, so fantastic couple of years there as well. In fairness, 2015-16 were quite good as well because you won the League Cup in those 2 years as well.
Yeah, we got a couple of League Cups there. Yeah. But we didn't really kick on. I think we should have kicked on from obviously 2012. We had a half season. The league went 14. We won the cup. I think we needed to keep building on that. Then on obviously 2015-16 we won the League Cup. But from after that, then I think we kind of went on a little bit of a downfall, and it was kind of a rebuilding process really, to get back up to where we were. But I think it just, the way it happened, the kind of how quickly it happened really over, it kind of was disappointing that we didn't kind of build on what we had got to.
You were captain in 2017. How did that feel, getting the captain's armband? Or did it make a difference to your nature? Because I'd say you didn't change the way you played or approached things, I'd imagine, did it?
No. Obviously you've got a little extra bit of responsibility, but it didn't change the way like, listen, the way I say I lead is the way I train and the way I play on the pitch, and that's the way I lead. I'm not one to be going around shouting in the dressing room or trying to roar at this and that and all. I try to just lead by like the way I play and stuff like that. But 2017 was tough. It was my fourth season as captain, and for myself personally, I took an extra. I was taking extra responsibility. Season, and as I said, I probably took an extra bit of like responsibility for the way the team was playing, stuff like that, which I shouldn't have really, but I did, and it probably affected me a little bit, stuff like that. So, but no, listen, it's an unbelievable achievement. I was delighted to get it, and listen, I still am. I'm still proud to be captain. It's a great honour every week, and now listen, I think I've grown into it a little bit now, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Buckey left in 2018. Was that a big disappointment for the likes of yourself, who probably would have soldiered with him? I'm not sure how many more players were left when you won the league and the cup. But was that a big disappointment for you at the time, or was it a feeling like, okay, maybe it's just we need a fresh approach, basically, as a club, or how did you feel?
Like, really disappointed to see Liam go. Obviously, you'd never want to see it, and he was really good for me. He was really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. But on the other hand, I think we did need a fresh start. I think we needed fresh ideas, and we needed like to freshen the thing up a bit. Whether and obviously, like I think we had went on a really poor run that in 2008. We had lost.
It could have been the case as well where Liam himself needed a fresh start as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Liam did probably feel that way as well. But like as I said, really disappointed to see him go. But probably the club did need to, and as I said, as I just mentioned there was a rebuilding process probably to be done from there. And listen, we're still rebuilding. But I think there is good times coming.
Yeah, obviously Harry Kenny came in and didn't quite work out for Harry, did it?
Harry came in, and to be honest, at the start of the season, we were all really impressed. We couldn't wait to get going, and then we were just inconsistent. Really, we didn't put any kind of run together or stuff like that. And I think
there were some good results. Like there was a win against Dundalk, for example. Like you know what I mean. There were some good results in between, weren't there?
Yeah, no, there was. Listen, Harry, he's a great man. He's a great manager, and a lot of respect for him. But maybe I don't know. It just, as you say, it just didn't work out for him. And it was probably for a number of reasons. Probably not sure it was his own fault, but there was probably a number of reasons there why. But a great man, really respect him, and he'll be back and he'll be successful. I'd imagine.
So when Stephen O'Donnell came in, what was your impressions of Stephen? Did he come in and tell you like it is, what way he wanted to run things from the get-go, basically? Or what was his style approach to things?
Well, I only know Stephen through playing against him and stuff like that, so I'd wouldn't have had a personal relationship with him or anything like that. And obviously I'd heard good things about him from Dundalk and stuff like that. He came in and really, really impressed by him. I think Pat's are in good hands going forward. As I said, it's his first job. He is probably going to make mistakes. Listen, like anybody going into it, it's his first job. He's a young manager. But from what I've seen so far, it's been really, really good. And as I said, I think Pat's are in safe hands for over the coming years.
And as you said, it's a rebuilding project, isn't it? In fairness, like you're bringing in a lot of players. He's technically a new manager there now. He got the back end of last season, but he's changed up the squad, as I said. The pandemic hasn't helped, to be fair. Let's be honest about it. Would you kind of say to Pats fans just to kind of be a bit more patient as well in general? Because, I know Pats fans, they want to see you win every week. But maybe a bit more patience is required at the moment because, as you say, mistakes we made. It's a new squad put together. It takes time. It could be a couple of seasons of a project. That's not to say the squad isn't capable of doing well straight away, but you understand what I mean?
No, I think like for me, like I'm not saying we have to start from the start again, but we need to be in Europe every year. That should be the minimum for St. Pat's. We have to be in Europe every year, and obviously over the last couple of years we haven't done that. So that's why I'm saying it's a rebuilding project. I think we've got to get into Europe this year. That's the be all and end all of it. Well, I think we've got to go back into Europe this year. And then go from there. But the team the squad he has there, he's got young, hungry players that are really, really good. And as I said, if we can get Europe this year, it'll bring them lads on again, and they'll be more experienced, and they'll understand the way Steve wants to play the game that little bit more. And he'll get a good atmosphere, good camaraderie in the group, and they'll only improve because some serious good young players there at Pats. And if you look at our team, like they're all. Like I'm playing probably on the oldest. Well, Clarky's and oldies were older than me, but the rest of the lads are all in their early 20s. Some of them are only in that team. It's like, he's got a serious squad. If he can keep the bulk of them together, and obviously you've got to add a little bit of quality every year. But he has the bulk of a good young squad there that he can work over the next few years. And as I said, to go and be successful. But as I said, I think. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I think he's the man for the job, and I think the club will be successful over the next few years.
Yeah, I sense that as well. But you're actually in a very good position to give that assessment because you're at the club for so long. So you've seen a lot of the club, haven't you? So you're in a very good position. But you mentioned the young players there. There's a lot of good academy players coming through the Pats, isn't there as well? Like let's be honest, like some McCormack and Burns, the few others. Jake Walker was in the squad last year. There's good talented academy players coming through also.
Yeah, I think the lads deserve it, and like the Jared O'Brien and all the coaches he has there deserve an awful amount of credit, because a lot of our players in the team actually are a lot of academy graduates. Then you've got the likes of Ben, Dara Bournes, Jacobs come into the team. Even got you've got like Keane Cobley, a really talented player as well, who I think he scored in the Leinster Senior Cup final last year as well.
Is he only 15?
I think he's only 15, but he's really good. He's got all the ability in the world, and he's a bright future as well. And you've got a lot of young lads coming through, and as I said, the lads in the academy deserve an awful lot of credit for that, because I briefly last year worked with Sean O'Connor and Dan McGuinness in the 15th, and I've seen the work that they put in, and a lot of the young players are really good. As I said, their game intelligence is really good, and the coach that they receive by the lads is excellent. And when they are ready to step up, they'll be thrown in, I'm sure, from Stephen to put them in.
It's also great to have the likes of them who are part of the fabric of the club as well. Your Jared Bryans and your Connors, isn't it? I think that's very important as well.
Say that again, sorry, I didn't hear you there.
Yeah, it's great to have the likes of Sean O'Connor and Jared Bryant, who are basically part of the furniture at the club as well, aren't they? So they're going to help. They're going to help the young players coming through, understanding the nature of the club. It's not just all about, bringing through players. That's very important, that side of it as well.
No, definitely, yeah. The work they do to recruit the players, they've obviously got, they win a lot of listen, they say, their aim is to get players into the first team, and possibly to if the further field, if they're good enough. But I think you see them winning trophies last year. It's important as well to get that little bit of a winning habit in them as well, because obviously when they do get put into the first team, it's all about winning Friday night. There's no point of we played well today or anything like that. It's all about winning. So they do instill, there is that balance, I think, that they instill into the players. It had to be. That winning is important as well, but to develop, to get the lads into the first team.
And of course, Luke McNally is in the first team now. I know he started off with Drogheda at 17, so he's part of Pat since under 19s, I believe, isn't it? So he's a young player coming through that's part of the club, but he's now playing as well in the team, or has been playing in the team. So it's great to see the likes in. I think as well, what it is as well, fans love to see players coming through the academy, coming through our club as well and performing. I think that's huge as well.
Oh, it is, yeah, and even for the younger players to see that there is impact. Like, so if you're in the under 13s, even the 15s, 17s, whatever it is, that you can see the likes of Luke McNally, you can see Jamie Lennon, you can see Darren Markey, you can see Jake Walker. Listen, I could keep going. Yeah. That you see them on a Friday night, and they're look at them, they're only 20, 21, I think. So it's only a couple years you are playing academy football. So it is great. It is great to see, and as I said, for fans, it's brilliant to see them out there, that they've come through the system. But for the younger players, it's equally important that they can see, look, there's Jamie Lennon. He was only playing where I am 2 years ago, so it is possible to get there. It's through working hard. I think it's probably, they find it easy to get there probably sometimes, but it's harder to stay there for.
It's hard to stay there.
That's the hardest part. It's probably easy. It's easier to get there than it's the hard part is to try to stay there for a long amount of time. So.
Yeah, well, you've managed to do it anyway. So what's your greatest memory in a Pats church? If you had to pick one memory, probably hard, but
memory. I suppose winning the league. I suppose it's an easy one to say, but I suppose winning the league is probably the best memory I've had. It was my first trophy. It was something that I always wanted to do. I'd seen the lads from around my area win leagues, and I'd seen them do well, and it was just something that I wanted. And I suppose I was only in the league probably about 4 or 5 years, but I used to say to my mates, it's never happened. And I was only a young, like, I'm never going to win that and all that, like stuff like that. That's why it was
gone.
Like, yeah, like I was only 21, 20 or whatever. I don't know what age I was.
22 or something when you won the league, right?
Probably, something like that. But that was probably, but I used to say, I'm never going to win anything. But
oh my God,
there was a bit of relief then when I won it. I just dropped to my knees. I was just, I've done it.
Who's the best player you've ever come up against in your career? You can't say Ronaldo, so it has to be someone in the League of Ireland.
Yeah, this is probably, people will probably think this, but the lads who I've played with over the years will probably, I'd say John Mountney has been the toughest player that I've played against. Like, right up against, he'd play out my side there, he'd play out the right.
Exactly.
He's, like, I like to get forward, but I could never get a run on him, and still to this day I'm trying to get a yard on him, but
he'd pin you back, kind of, yeah.
He's just like, he's a really, really good footballer as well. Like, he'd never give you that much trouble going forward because he's not a natural winger. But just in terms of stopping you going forward, and
really, yeah,
just his position is excellent. And even if you do get a run on him, his recovery runs are excellent as well. So listen, he was. I always say to the boys, I used to just be like, I can never get a run on this for the fucking hell. Sorry for cursing, but I can never. I mean, he's just always there. He always finds the right positions. He's a really good, intelligent player, I suppose. But he was
one of those players. He'd be a wasp as well. He'd be all over you like a rash, kind of a thing. Or...
Yeah, he's a big, strong boy as well.
Yeah,
just good job. But now I'd say he's been probably. Listen, I've come up against really good players. That test me that way. But just for me, I used to always say to the lads, because that's probably my game, is to get forward. Like, but I could get any other player, but just can't seem to get a yard in him. Is just his position and sense, and I think that's why Stephen Kenny and now Vinny Peart probably had put him out there, because he is a really good player, probably underrated, I'd say, because of the quality of that Dundalk team. But the job that he does to them, especially out that side, I'd say he's been a tough player, tough opponent.
Now, over the years, what's been your toughest away day, or maybe a ground that you really hate playing in generally? It could be for any reason, you know.
Toughest away ground. Don't like playing in Tolga.
Do you not? Really?
No, I hate Tolga. I don't know. I just don't like it. No, it's not anything like that.
Is it because of the stick?
I just don't. No, I don't know. I just don't like it. Well, if you say stick, I suppose it's Rovers. Like, you get stick off them all the time. But I'd say I just don't like playing in. I don't like playing in. No, in Tolga for some reason. It's just the way, I don't know.
Yeah. Just one of those things you just can't turn down. Yeah. What's your favourite away day then?
Bows.
Bows, yeah. And why is that?
I love playing in Daleyman for some reason.
Yeah. Is it the history, I wonder, as well?
Pitch itself. Johnny Logan's song before the match and all. There's lots of things. No, I love playing up there. This is going back years for when I was even playing for UCD and all. I used to love playing with him at the time with the likes of Owen Hurley. I remember John played out right against me and all a few times. But the pitch used to be immaculate. It used to be brilliant, and they had all top players: Glenn Crowe, Jason Bourne.
Yeah, unreal.
All them sort of players, and I used to just love. I used to get some buzz playing against all them, because they were all the top around at the time, and I think they could have been one. I think Jason Bourne or Glenn Crowe would have been. I don't know. It was around that time that they were internationals or something. But it was just, they were all the top players. And when I was playing for UCD and all that, I used to love going there. The pitch was immaculate. You're playing against the top players, and to this day I still like going there to play. It's a good open ground, and it's a big pitch as well. I like playing on the big pitch, so that'd be my favourite probably.
That's true, actually. Now, obviously, you're a long time in the league. You're 11 years with Pats. What changes have you seen in the last 11 years? Have you seen many positive changes? Obviously, I think a lot of people would say we should be maybe further down the road in development of the game. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. In regards to stuff like grounds and stuff like that, I'd say. But I think it's a much younger league than when I first came in. It's a really, really younger league. I remember that we were playing against proper men when I first came into the league. Now, I know I was only young, so I'm probably thinking, Jesus, but now, like, it's a lot younger players, and the style of football has definitely changed. A lot more teams are playing good brands of football, and listen, I think it was tougher when I first came into the league. It was brilliant, like, but we were up against men back then, real tough fellas. Now I think it's a more technical game, and just more football being played, stuff like that. But
is that for the better? Is that for the better?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's great to see the young players. I love watching our young players playing. They're brilliant. Their attitudes are excellent. you see that they live their life right. They're only young as well, and it is easy to get distracted now. But you see these boys and they're in every day. They do their work. They don't miss anything. They live their life right off the pitch, and I love young boys, and that's why I hope before I do wrap it up, like to retire, I hope that I can win something with them, because I'd love it just for them really, but I'd love to be a part of it as well. To see the joy that I give them, that I gave me probably all them years ago when I won.
Is that a thing? Sorry to go across it. Is that a thing for you as well when you retire? Would you be interested in coaching or management or anything like that, do you think?
I probably would, yeah. I haven't done any badges yet. Now I got.
No. Well, you're still young enough. So.
yeah. No, I was involved with the 15s last year at Pats, and it was actually great to see how Sean goes about and how he speaks to them and stuff like that, because it's, I suppose you can't speak to an under 15 player the way you speak to probably
someone who's playing senior football.
So it was good to get an insight like that, and how they do it, and the professionalism of it all, even on an under 15 level, is brilliant, and it is something that I would like to get into. Hopefully I've another couple of years left playing, but definitely. Probably at the end I probably will dip into the coaching, probably.
Now, the message from Mark Kirwan, he's a Pats fan since 2012, and he just wants to say that it's been a joy to see you play for all those years since he's a fan. Hearing that kind of stuff, does that kind of bring out a bit of pride in you as well? Like, there's a lot of Pats fans who've been watching, have seen you throughout your whole career. So does that give you a sense of pride that people respect what you've done for the club and what you're still doing for the club?
Yeah, definitely. You never get tired of hearing people say good things about this.
No. I think we're all like that, aren't we?
Yeah. No, I think it is great to hear, and I fully appreciate it. As I said, they've been really good. The fans have been really good to me over the years. I suppose I've done all right for the club for them to actually like me. So, and I suppose it's a good relationship between myself and the fans, and it is really good to hear stuff like that. And listen, I'd hopefully have a couple of years left to go playing with the club and stuff like that. But now it's over the years, it's been brilliant, and hopefully I can finish off by winning something before I do jack it in.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, because as I said, we don't see many players these days staying 10, 11 years in one club. The only player I can think of at the top of my head at this minute is Mark McNulty of Cork, and he's a goalkeeper. So, fair play to you, and keep going, and hopefully you'll get some success in the future, near future, again with St. Patrick Athletics. So thanks very much for coming on, Ian. Really
no problem.
Appreciate it. Fair play to you. Thanks a million. Great chat. Thanks. All right.
No problem.
See you later. Thank you. Bye.